Well, thanks so much for joining us for this special edition of In the Know, the back to school buzz. It's going around whether you want to hear it or not. And many families are thinking about buying all the products that they need to go back to school. The National Retail Federation, this does operate out of Washington, D.C. They expect each family to spend about $875 for all the back to school items that you need. Or do you? I want to introduce you now to Simmer Betty, founder of Soul Recycling, our recycling guru. Let's talk about back to school and why it produces so much plastic.
Yeah, so back to school, you're brainwashed to think that you need everything over again, and most items are already in your household, right? So you want to stay away from as many plastics as you can. It's a cancer for our earth. So even the water that we're drinking, it's contaminated with microplastics, and we're drinking that, right? So sickening us and everybody else. Like this crayon, for example, the material of the cap is different than the actual marker itself. So it's very hard to recycle and segregate. So think about this when you're going out, right? Stay away from plastics, use more metal-based material, more tin can Lunchables that will last you a longer time, save you money over time, and you can use it year after year.
And we know that plastic is a problem in Canada. In Brampton, for example, they're expanding the incineration plant.
They're trying to quadruple the output of incineration, which is technically just burning material and emitting emissions. So when it goes to landfill, it is contaminating our waterway, so we're drinking microplastics. And once it goes to a burning plant, you're contaminating the air with emissions. So you want to stay away from plastics. It's a petroleum-based material, and it's not good for us.
Okay, so let's say I've convinced my kids we are not buying anything new this year when we go back to school. How do you think we can do that?
Go for a scavenger hunt, right? You already have most of the material. Unless it's a newborn, you have everything you possibly need. But when you do need something, you want to go for something, let's say a ruler instead of a plastic ruler, you want to go for a wood-based ruler. And instead of pens, you want to go for pencils. They're biodegradable. Absolutely.
Now, this is a good example, the lunchbox, because as a kid, I remember so many plastic lunchboxes. This one's made out of tin. That's your best option, right?
Yep. It's forever recyclable, right? And it's longer lasting.
Now, what about the backpack? Because the backpack, the nylon, the plastic, all the different materials, this is a tough one. But sometimes we do need a new backpack. Let's say there's been a ton of orange juice spilled in here. It smells disgusting from last year. So I'm going to buy a new backpack. What is the best way to buy one that'll serve the environment?
When looking for a backpack, you want to stay away from like the cartoon trends and things like that you will know your kids are not going to be into in 6 months or so. But when you're buying a backpack, look for something that's made out of a recycled material. What that does, it promotes recycling as a whole, which is better. You're not going to get away from plastic because most of the backpacks are made from plastic, but buy something that has recycled content within it, promotes recycling, and something that's longer lasting, preferably. Again, without the trends being there, something that the kid will use year after year.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about lunch, because lunch, I feel like, can contribute to a lot of plastic. We know this is a better lunch bag, the tin one. What about the items inside? We were talking about Tetra Paks during the commercial break. We all are sort of getting used to the reusable water bottle, but what about eliminating the juice box?
Yeah, so just like the water bottle, have a reusable juice bottle, right? So it's very simple, just like little things like that will make a drastic change as a whole.
Because it's hard to recycle Tetra Paks, right?
Correct. Multi-material Tetra Paks, it has aluminum lining, it has plastic lining, and fiber-based lining, so it's very hard to recycle.
Also, let's think about single-use plastic during lunch, too.
So single-use plastics, it's in the name, right? It's one-time use, disposable, but again, because of that reason, it's very bad. So you want to go for something that's fiber-based, wood-based, metal-based, or glass.
All right, Simmer, thanks so much for joining us for this edition of In the Know. We're getting you ready to go back to school. Do that scavenger hunt around your home, eliminate buying new plastic, and start thinking about materials that are more sustainable for our world.